Hey everyone, so I'm just here to sort of do a walkthrough of Julian's new game. You might have seen this on Instagram or something like that, and I just wanted to, make a make a nice way so you guys can understand if you're having a little bit too much trouble with this game. So we start out, you find yourself in a room. In front of you are three doors, and behind you is a treasure chest. Find the key and get the treasure, and you have four options. One option is to enter the room to the left, the other is the middle and the right door, and then you also have the chest behind you. Now, for the sake of it, let's just go, let's head over to the left door first. So you open the door and find a cave. It's dark, and you can't really see much. Looking a bit harder, you find a small white crescent. It stands out even among this darkness, and it is sharp to the touch. You have tamed the white crescent. Do you want to do anything else here? And it's dark, so you could say yes, but to be honest, it's not going to prompt you with anything, and in the end, it's going to put you back in. So then, the next step to actually beating the game is to go through the middle door. It's a closet. There isn't much besides a couple spices. However, there are two looking stilts on the wall. I wonder what they're for. You obtain assorted spices. Now, what you can also do is you can say you want to stay, and you do see two slits. You can put one of the white crescents in, and this is going to be good and pertinent information for the later game. But sadly, even if you do put the crescent in, it's not going to do anything. So you back away, and now you're back into the room. So now you have this crescent. You're wondering, what can I do with this crescent? But you also do have the spices. Just keep that in mind. So going into 4, looking in the chest, you don't see much, but there's a key. There's not a keyhole. Only an indented circle lies in the center of it. You can try to use a white crescent or open it by force, and if you open it by force, you're going to be met with a nice surprise. So why don't we try that right now? So there's no keyhole. So let's try opening the thing by force. You take some stretches, spit your hands, and give your best effort. So as you pick up the chest to get a better grip on it, you hear an alarm go off and the room starts to collapse. With no escape, you're crushed under the rubble. Sorry, but I don't think that was it, Chief. Do you want to try again? And you just say yes. Good luck and try not to make the same mistakes. You find yourself into a room in front of you. It sort of runs through. So the whole idea is to, get through this. And so now that we know that there are some things that you don't want to do, we're just going to sort of run through what we've already done. So we're going to get to the crescent. We are also going to grab the spices as soon as it's going to allow me to. Yep, so closet, there isn't much besides some spices and a few slits on the wall. Okay, so next what we're going to do is we're going to go straight into the right door. No, I don't want to do anything else here. So now we're going to go into the right door. And from here on, I'm just going to be giving you a step-by-step guide about how you can beat this game, or, how you can make Justin feel good or Julian feel good about, what you're doing. So you do go through, so this is actually probably one of the more interesting rooms in the game. Opening the door, you are greeted by a blinding white light. It seems like this room from it. It seems like this is a room from an insane asylum. And sure enough, sits a man in a straitjacket in the center of the room. He seems to have an odd black object, almost crescent-like. What will you do? So you can do a few things. You can ask him for his crescent, give him the spices, and attack him. So we're going to refrain from attacking him because there's nothing really to do. Let's ask him for the crescent. You ask him about the crescent. He's guarded. It's the only possession I have left with me. He says, looking at the crescents, and so it does crash there. So a little bit of a sad moment, but I'm sure this is going to be fixed sooner or later. But the game is still beatable. You just, I guess, can't ask him if you can have the crescent. It doesn't like when you ask it. Oh no, God forbid you ask for the crescent. So this game is sort of a linear game. This game isn't. It's still an early access. It's an alpha. Thank God I was able to donate to the cause on Kickstarter, GoFundMe, and Steam. I paid $500 for this early access game, and I think it was really worth the money that I paid. As you're going to soon see, the ending is just amazing. So we're going to go, and we're again greeted with the insane dude in the straitjacket who can somehow hold on to a crescent. Anyway, so to get past this, which is you either get killed or you crash the game, which I feel is a beautiful thing. You only have one correct choice, and that's to, or well, I guess you could leave, but you give him the spices for the crescent. So he takes one sniff and immediately goes grab the spices with his foot. "My home." You hear him whisper to himself as you slowly take the black crescent and get as far away as possible. So this leaves some backstory. This game does have a lot of lore. So you're in a room, and there's this person, and there's spices. So we already know that this man's not European, because the Europeans have already stolen all the spices in the world, and they decided that they don't want any. So it's not European. I guess it could be he could be American, or anything really, because I think everywhere other than Europe sort of has spices. Anyway, continuing, or anywhere other than England. So we're going to now we have the black crescents, and I remember, if you remember back, you do notice that there were 2 crescents and there were 2 slits. So what you can do is you can put the crescents into the slits, and after a couple seconds of awkward silence, the wall opens up to reveal a red jewel. You have obtained the red jewel. So you exit the room, and it's pretty obvious that there was an indented thing on the chest. So you don't see much of a keyhole, but there is an indented circle. So if you tried to use the red jewel as a chest or as a key, it fits perfectly and shines with a blinking red light. And this is where the best part of the game comes. Congratulations! You finished the game and got the treasure. What was the treasure, you may ask? Ha ha ha! You assume I'm clever enough to actually think of something cool to put inside there, but I'm not. Have fun with the lack of closure, and thanks for playing. And, well, that is the game for Julian's Early Access Alpha, Omega, Ruby and Sapphire text adventure, soon to turn into a MMORPG. So thank you guys all for watching, and I hope that you enjoyed this episode, and a quick run through about how to actually play this game.